How did I like the Magical A5s when I had them? I thought the Magical A5s were great speakers for the money. I actually made them sound really good with my former Boulder 866 integrated and my Strom Tank. My Strom Tank made that 866 Boulder integrated sound like I had never heard it before. That Strom Tank just completely opened up more windows to the presentation. I mean, my 866 Boulder integrated sounded unbelievable through my Strom Tank, and through the A5s. Really a good, great small system with a lot of performance, a lot of bang for the money. Do I have an opinion on Simaudio Dacs? I don't have an opinion on Simaudio Dacs. I've never really owned it. The only thing I have here is a Simaudio transport CD player. It's the 650D. It's a good piece, but I think there's nothing revolutionary right now when it comes to Dacs from Simaudio. I do believe that it's hard to be the master of all trades. Okay, a lot of brands try to be the master of all trades, and it's one of the most difficult things to embark on. Okay, so I would say when you're looking for quality DACs, stick to those that have been doing it the longest, that focus primarily on the design of digital to analog converters. Okay, so like Esoteric, it's all digital. MSB digital. Their main thing is digital. DCS main thing is digital. Lampensator main thing is digital. Remember what I said. Try to always buy the most current DAC you can afford. There is definitely a difference. And DACs are like our phones. They're going to change rapidly. They're going to really be changing rapidly, unless you're, of course, you're buying like a MSB Select 2, right? Which has been out for like 5 years, but it's still like the king of the MSB lineup, and it's still a great performer. What are my thoughts on the top Marantz amps? For instance, the Marantz P. You know, I've always wanted to try Marantz top of the line amplifier, but I just deviated from that. I started going into like the Krells of the world, Class A audios of the world, Carry audios of the world in my early beginning. But I always wanted to try Marantz. My thing is, if I'm being sincere, where I play today, I just don't think there's a space for that. That doesn't mean I wouldn't mind trying it. I wouldn't mind buying a Marantz top of the line amplifier and see what it does in my room. But it's just, you know what? It feels as if my mind just can't accept that I'm playing with gear that isn't at the level that I normally display on my channel. If I'm being honest, just keeping it real with you. What do I think about power speakers? That's a very interesting question. Power speakers to me are the future. Power speakers to me will be where we go maybe 10 years from now, just like electric vehicles. Okay. I do believe that the future is definitely going to be in boxes that have everything built into them. I find power speakers quite interesting. I would say the biggest advantage of having power speakers is the fact that maybe you buy a power speaker with even the preamplifier in him, and the amplifier and the source. And I can tell you that if that were the case, it's going to put a lot of other brands out of business. The only problem with having all in one box solutions like power speakers with built in DACs and all of that is the fact that you lose the flexibility factor. You no longer have the ability to change cables, to change, sources. Now, why is that bad? Well, that's bad because if you are like me, a person who likes to try different things, you're not going to be able to do that with power speakers, the speakers that have everything inside the box. That's what I mean by a power speaker. I don't mean just something that's driving the subs of a speaker. I mean like those speakers that YG Acoustics released in Munich, Germany, the ones that I was in front of. I believe they had the built-in source, they had the amplification in Class D. I mean, they had everything in one box, okay? So I think that's the future. The only thing is, the only thing I would say is that's supposed to be a game over, end of the road type of setup. Okay. That is when you love the way it sounds, you love the way it looks, and you don't want to be tinkering with anything else. Then I can see that being the case. However, as long as we have tinkerers like me, people who love to change components, change cables and sources all the time, I don't see that as a viable option. I don't see that as something that a lot of people are going to seek out if you love to swap out components all the time. So I don't know how long it will be before we decide to go in that direction 100%. But I always see an opportunity for brands to keep creating new sources and amplification and preamplification. I don't see that ever going away. But I was very impressed, to be honest, here with power, built-in power speakers in Munich. I really did like what they did.